Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important example for ngStyle, where we will see how to use methods with ngStyle directive in order to change the CSS of object dynamically. Okay, so basically we are going to see a process where we will create one example, and on that div or maybe whatever you want to apply, let's say heading or anything. So any HTML element will be used, and there we will use ngStyle with method to apply some dynamic CSS to that particular element. Okay, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic, because for time being we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngStyle directive with methods. But prior to that, you should know about what is ngStyle, why do we use it, and these all things we have already discussed in our last sessions. Okay, alright, so now we are going to proceed in a very similar way. Firstly, we will talk about the prerequisites. After prerequisites, we will discuss the requirement of the task, because once requirement is clear, then we are good to go and write the code from scratch. Yes, we are going to write everything from scratch, and once everything is ready, we will verify the output as well. Okay, alright, so let's get started and go to the app.component.ts file. The first and very important thing is to import the module that will help us to that will allow us to use ngStyle attribute. So for that, you are supposed to add here common module. Okay, so what we will do now, I'll simply write here common module. So you just need to write here common module. Once you write this common module here, it will automatically add this line here in this code. If it is not added, please make sure to add it manually, because this is something that is mandatory, and it is the module that will only help us to create the that will help us to implement this thing. Okay, it will, if it is not there, it won't allow us to write the further logic or to use the directive ngStyle. Alright, so this is ready. Now it's time to discuss about the how the requirement, right? So for requirement, let's go to app.component.html file. Here one heading is already coming, Angular directives demo by Sharmit. After this, we will add another heading, and in this heading we will write ngStyle directive with methods for dynamic CSS in Angular. So this is our main task which we want to implement. Now suppose we are building a small application for a traffic management. Okay, there what we want to do, we want to show one light. For example, there is a traffic light. On that traffic light, we want to provide one button for a traffic police officer who can simply click on that button, and if the light is green, it should be changed to red, and if it is already red, then it should go to green. Okay, so these all changes we will do, but only through ngStyle. Why? Because ngStyle has the capability to implement this logic dynamically. Although like with CSS you can write the logic, but we are not going to use CSS here directly. Means we are not going to use normal CSS. Instead of that, we will use the dynamic ngStyle. Okay, so let's start one by one. So firstly, I'll create one div here. In this div, we will write for example traffic light. So this text will be acting as a traffic light for our example. Now here what we will do, we will simply apply, but before that let me show you the requirement. Okay, so suppose there is one button for the user or for the traffic police officer, where we will write red green / red button. Okay, so this would be like a toggle button. So when user click on green, it should go to red. If it is red, it should go for the green. Okay, so let me add one BR tag as well. Alright, so let's try to run this application. So here I will write ngserve open, enter. It will take few seconds and then it will run our application. So now you can see this is showing us Angular directive demo by TextureMate, ngStyle directive with methods for dynamic CSS in Angular. And here we are getting the message as traffic light with one button which will act as a toggle. Right now I am clicking on this button, but it is not doing anything. Why? Because we have not write the logic so far. Okay, so let's go and write the logic. So here we want to apply ngStyle and we want to apply all properties in the TS file only. So let's write here style ng square bracket ngStyle. As I mentioned, this module is eligible only if you are using the common module. If it is not there, it will give you error here. It will show highlight red color. Okay, perfect. Now here we want to run one method. So far, like, we haven't discussed about the method with style, right? So here this time we are going to use method. So let's say traffic light method. So this is our method name and it should come with parenthesis because this is a method. Currently it is showing error because it is not declared yet, right? So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here in this class we will define this method, and in this method we will write something like this. Okay, so from here I want to return only the colors and font size. So I will write like this, for example color and colon. In color I will here I will check if it is active. Okay, so we need one more variable. On the basis of that variable only we will decide whether the traffic light is active or not. So let's define here active and let's make it as true by default. Okay, rest we will change through the button only, but for now default value is true. Now here we will check if color. So in this color we will check if this dot is active, ternary operator which is a question mark, then we will set green color, else we will set a red color. Okay, yeah, it should be red. Perfect. So now I'll save this. So what it will do, it will check if is active, that means if it is true we will show green color, if it is false it will show red color. Let's also apply the font size, but there I won't be using any conditional thing. I just want to make it font size as 75 for all. Okay, so 75 pixels in both cases, but you can use ternary operator if it is needed. Let's say in case of green you want to show with 75 pixel and in case of red you want to show 20 pixels, so that is up to you. But for now you can see I'm just using the common font size for both the cases. Perfect. So this method is ready, and this method we are using only for changing and for returning the color. But my question is how the application will get to know that button is clicked. So for that what we will do, we will go app.component.ts file. Here in this option we will write click function, where we will apply one method which is named as toggle button. Toggle is just a word that we use for toggling between on and off, right? So this kind of thing. So let's go to app.component.ts. Here we will define this method, and as we know the name of the method is toggle. So toggle button parenthesis, and here the logic is interesting because here we will check this dot is active equal not of this dot is active. Perfect. Okay, so what this button will do, like I'll explain you from scratch. So suppose someone click on that button, so what it will do, it will go for toggle button, then it will go in TS file, it will check if it is active, so it will make it non-active. In case of non-active it will change put the color red and set the font size as 75. But if it is already red, that means if it is not active, so in that case it will go for green, and likewise it will work. Okay, so let's see the output now. So yeah, so it is coming in a green color. So suppose traffic officer want to turn this light to red, so what they can do, they can simply click on this button and it has become red. Similarly, if it is already red and they want to make it green, they can use the button again and this time it is green. Okay, so this is called toggle function because here we are using only one button. You can create a separate button, that is also fine, but I'm using only one button, and with this one button I have built the logic for toggle, which is continuously changing the color to red to green or green to red as per the requirement. So I hope this session is clear to all of you, where we discussed how to use method with ngStyle in order to implement the dynamic CSS for a HTML element or div. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.